A resource I like to use in my language arts classroom is called flashcardmachine.com. And it's exactly what you think it'd be. It's a virtual flashcard maker. Back when I was in school, and probably back when all you guys were in school, we had to write, if we wanted to make flashcards, you had to write it out by hand, and it took a lot of time. And then if you lost a card, you had to make another one. This cuts out all that, and you get to do it straight on the computer. So in my classroom, I like to use this for a couple different things. One of them is fits in with ISTE Standard 1D, which is Model Collaborative Knowledge Construction by Engaging and Learning with Students, Colleagues, and Others. So, and then also it fits in with ISTE Standard 2D, which is provide students with multiple and varied formative and summative assessments aligned with content and technology standards. So I like to use this resource a couple different ways in my classroom. First is I like to use it to create flashcards for my own students. And again, I teach language arts. A lot of these things that I use are tailored to language arts. So I like to use these flashcard machines for vocabulary. So I like to create flashcards that my students can use. So how we use this is if you go into my flashcards, I already have one made, which I'll show you later, but it's really simple. You can make a new flashcard. It's exactly what it sounds. Click on new flashcard, enter a title. So let's say Unit 1 vocab. You don't have to enter description, subject. They have tons for you because this is a collaborative place. Again, later in this video, I'll show you there is a ton of different flashcard sets already made that you can go through if you don't want to take the time to make it for yourself. And again, I teach middle, intermediate, and we'll save those and then we'll get started with making it. Okay. And how we do this is if we go to, takes a little bit of time. You can change, again, you can change the formatting. You can make it so it will go to the flashcard library on this website, or you can disable that. Again, just for sake of safety of the students, whenever I'm having them make their own, I always have them disable it. Me as a teacher, I don't mind if some of my flashcards are used elsewhere. I'm fine with that. I love collaborating with other teachers. But if you're having students make it, I would suggest not having them share it. So we can create a new card, and it's just like it seems. You have on here where it says term, you're going to type in whatever you want. So maybe our first unit is narratives in my school, so I'd say something like setting, if I spell that right. And then, so you type the term here, and then on the other side, you type in the definition, where and when a story takes place. Once you're done with that, you just go up here and hit and make a new card. And every card you make will add it to this set. So you can go back, add stuff in, take stuff out, add to it the more you go. So that's how you make your own. I also like to use this as more of a formative assessment for my students in the classroom. If we are working on new vocab words, sometimes I'll have them make their own flashcards and that I could assess on them. So I'll have them write the term in there, and then they have to write a definition on the definition part of it or use it as a sentence. So it's kind of a different way. Again, it's not pencil, paper, vocab test. It's something a little bit different that even though students might not always like vocab, makes it a little bit easier for them to do when it's on the computer. Now again, I mentioned that there's a ton of different flashcards, resources that other people have put together. So we could also go to the flashcard library up here. And again, they have a ton of different things. So maybe my keyword is narrative. I can search that, and then there is a ton of different flashcards that come up. So vocabulary about narrative writing. Perfect. Maybe I don't want to take the time to write mine out. I can start a study session. And there's a couple different ways we could do this too. So study session is again just like what it seems. It'll open up a new window and it just shows you the flashcard. So first term is suspense. Maybe I'm working with a partner. They read suspense. I give them the definition. We can flip the card over. Waiting or hanging in excitement, trying to figure out what's going to happen next. Okay. So again, we could go through this flashcard set and just study. Another cool thing that this can do is, if we go back, you can also play a game. And this is also compatible with iPhones, iPods, Androids, whatever you have at your school, it's able to. So maybe you don't want to play a study session, you could play a game with it. So you could do Quiz Me, you could do Speed, you could do Pop Quiz. I always like to use the Quiz Me one. And we could play a game with it. So instead of just going through and studying off the flashcards, it'll give you the term, and then you get to choose one of the definitions. So narrative, let's say a spoken or written account of connected events, a story. I could click on that, boom, I'm 100%. And it will give you a quiz and multiple choice answers for each one of these terms. So it's really a cool way to, again, formatively or potentially summatively assess students on different terms and vocab.